The next thing I want to do is erase this inner part of the D, and I'll do that, I'm still using the direct selection tool. I can hover over this, this vertical line that defines the inner shape of the D, and using the Alt and Shift keys together, and it gives me the plus sign, I can click once and it will select that innermost part, and then hit delete. Okay, now I can see that their E has also other differences, and I need to actually see what they've done so that I try to do the same thing. Now, here comes the power of locking and unlocking. I need to see what's behind my E, so I need actually to move the E a bit and perhaps make these these handles, if you will, shorter and longer and so forth. To do that, I may accidentally move the poster behind the letter E. So the best thing would be to just select the poster and then lock it by doing Command 2. So now whatever I do with the E or the D, my poster is locked and it won't move. So let me see what's happening here. If I move the E a bit, okay, it seems that these handles are way shorter. So I'm going to select this part. As you can see, I'm clicking outside and dragging because I want to select the bottom two vector points of this upward handle. So let me take that up. I'm holding down the Shift key because if I don't, my hand might move like this. So I'm holding down the Shift key, and then I'm using the arrow, the upward arrow. I can see that I don't need to go that high, so I'm going to click twice again on the bottom arrow and reach what I need. Same thing here. So click outside, drag to select the upper two vector points, drag the shape down, holding down the Shift key, and then you realize that you've gone so far, so using the arrow key, go a bit upwards, like clicking twice should be fine. I also noticed that this inner part of the E is stretching all the way out, and then it has a short, rectangle here rather than the long one that I have. So first of all, I want to make that short, so click outside, select the upper two vector points, and then using the arrow key downwards, click twice or three times. Same thing here, but then use the upward arrow key, click twice or three times. Now, what would I do to move this whole section of the E to the right? Again, same thing. I click outside, drag to select all this part. So now I have, you see the vector points in blue, it means all of these are selected. I can do something with them. Now that they're selected, just hold any side and drag out. You see I can drag all the way out there, right? Again, my hand is moving, so I need the Shift key, and then I would position it as much as I can right on top of that E. So this is not bad. I'm quite close to what they have. Obviously, I have like little, problems here where my own font is not exactly matching their white font, but it's okay because I'm quite close. So this is how you would continue working on the remaining of the letters. Now, when you reach this part where there's a G and then two R's within the glasses, you don't need to worry about this part. Just have the letter G overlap the eyeglasses and the R's as well. Let me show you. You don't need to worry about perfecting this. So let's say this is the letter G. I'm going to position it right here. And if it's in white, then I will just change it to white. And that's fine. That should be fine, even if it's going on top of the glasses. And same thing for the letters, for the letter R. So there you go. It's okay if it's not hiding behind the glasses, because for it to hide behind the glasses, we need to actually learn masking, and it's a bit advanced for this tutorial. So We're done with the type, we're done with the image in the background and the color and the image trace. Let's also work on these little small circles and then mask the whole thing within a rectangle, and it will be the end of this tutorial. So to mimic these circles, let me try working on this one. What I'm going to do is, visually and not exactly, not mathematically reproduce these circles. So let me go to the ellipse tool and using my judgment, draw a circle right here, and to the best of my abilities try to match the circle that they have right here. Okay, so I have a white circle. That's because I happen to have white in my toolbox. Now I need these colors. How do I get to these colors? First of all, let me hit the I letter on my keyboard, which will take me to the eyedropper tool. And with my circle selected, I will go to this light brown. Okay, right here, and then click once, and my circle will transform to that color. Okay, so far so good. Now, the next thing I want to do is take the line segment tool and use a black stroke for that. And then I want to try to draw these lines that are crossing the circle as much as I can. They have specific, weird angles that look very nice graphically, but for our exercise, it's okay if we do as much as we can. We don't need to have, the exact degree of these, triangles within the circle. So I'm going to try to draw some of these lines. So I'll click once and drag. This is one of my lines. But before continuing with the other lines, I have to make sure that this line aligns perfectly with the circle. So let me select it and then select the circle holding down the Shift key. And then look at the Align panel at the top. I need to click on the Horizontal Align Center once, and then on the Vertical Align Center. And this way the line segment that I just drew will align with the circle that I have. Okay, now I need to select that black stroke line and then go to the rotate tool and hit enter once, and I'm going to try to create this triangle right now. So I believe this is like an 80-degree angle more or less. So I'll enter the value 80 degree and hit copy. It looks right, and I believe the second one is, I guess, the same thing. So to get the same result, I'm going to hit Command D. Okay, and then I have this light green that we see here. I will not do anything with it because that's enough space for that. To copy this line one more time, perhaps I will hit enter and this time choose like a 40-degree value and hit copy, and so forth. So let's say I succeeded at doing this. It looks fine. What I need to do now is take the magic wand and click once on one of those lines, and all others will be selected because they have the same stroke weight and color, and then remove the black color from these lines. Then I will make sure I will go to the selection tool, and then with these lines selected, hold down the Shift key and select the circle as well. So I have the circle and all these lines selected. Now what we need to do is divide this shape, and we do that in the Pathfinder panel that we discussed in an earlier tutorial. If your Pathfinder panel is not open, you can find it under Window. It should be right here. Okay, so with all these selected, I want to go to Pathfinders and then click on Divide. So now I have all these triangles within that circle shape. With this division, I can now select the individual triangles and color them these specific colors. So let me deselect by clicking outside and go to the Direct Selection tool and select my first triangle, and then hit I to get to the eyedropper tool, and then choose this color for the next brown. Now to select the second triangle that I have here, I'm going to hold down the Command key And what that does is it takes me back to the direct selection tool. So just hold down the command key and click. That's how you'll be able to select your second triangle. And go to this other color, click once, and your triangle will transform to that color. Same thing here, hold down the command key, click once, hover over this light green, click on that, and that will be changed to that light green. The one next to it is the dark green, and then red. Now obviously my triangles are not matching exactly the sizes that I have here, but if you do as close as possible to what exists on the original poster, that's good enough. And then this one. Okay, now with regards to these last two, you see they are divided. There's this small line in between. I can reunite them just by selecting them both. So this one, and holding down the shift key, this one next to it, and then going to shape modes, again under Pathfinder, clicking unite, and they are united again. So this is how I would work with the remaining circles. You see there's half a circle right here, another half here. There's this small circle here, there's this one. Now if you have difficulty dividing these circles, cropping them out since they're half circles, just you can make this two-part circle, a one-part circle. So you can draw one circle here, another full circle here. No need to worry about how to hide it behind the hair. It's all related to masking, which we'll cover eventually in another tutorial. So we're done with the circle, with the image, with the background color. Let me bring these letters that we also worked on and position them right here as much as I can where they should belong, and change them and make them white, and so forth. So you know how to continue typing that title. And what's left for you to do is just to write these names at the bottom here. Now the next thing to notice is that these circles are not 100% opaque. We can see through them, so they have to have some transparency. So let me go ahead and select my existing circle that I just worked on with the selection tool, and go under transparency, click under opacity and select something like 60%. That's too light, maybe 80%. Okay, and this is how probably all others should be done, because I can see through the pink and yellow here, I can see the hair. So just make sure you give some transparency to these circles. Once you're done, the last thing to do is, since we have actually only one circle going outside of our composition, which is this very one we just worked on, what is one way to keep it inside the composition? And this is how we'll introduce the concept of masking in this tutorial. What I need to do is go to my rectangle tool, select it, and then remove the color if there's any stroke or fill color. So I don't need to have a color at all. And then hover over the top left corner and go over the whole poster and just release. And then to make sure that this rectangle, this transparent rectangle that I drew, is at the very, very front, let me go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front, and that's it. Now, what I need to do next is to mask. In order to mask, I'm going to make sure my rectangle is selected, and then also select the circle, which is outside the boundaries of my rectangle, and then hit Command 7, which is the shortcut to masking. So all you need to do is make sure your transparent rectangle is in the front, and select whatever needs to be masked, hit Command 7, and then that circle will be contained within the boundaries of the work.